What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. Timestamps are in the description box below if you want to go directly into the Smackdown review. This won't take too long. I do want to reflect off the news that is currently circulating in wrestling media. Apparently, Ricky Starks is on his way out of AEW. Now, I can't give you a declaration, and nor can I confirm it, to be honest with you. I was going to say something else, but no, I really can't confirm this. But apparently, allegedly, his contract is coming up in June. I don't know that to be the case. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying what I've been seeing on news reports as of late. Apparently, his contract is up in June. Now, why I'm talking about this is because I seen something of a quote from Ricky Starks. Because there's a bunch of people asking, where is Ricky? And everybody thinks he's injured. People think there's, I don't know, maybe he's hurt, something along the lines of that. And apparently Ricky Starks has made it known that he's perfectly fine. He's cleared to wrestle. He doesn't understand why he's not being used. And I think there's a bit of a cynical game being played here. I think Ricky Starks absolutely understands why he's not being used, right? And people are putting two and two together, and I don't believe this to be the case necessarily on the, foundation of the premise of what people are putting across. I think it's a little bit more deeper than that, while taking into context that might have something to do with the situation. And actually, I got a short on this. I'll leave that link down in the description box below if you want to look at it. It's a short video just to kind of give some context as far as the situation, if you want an example, or if you want something visual to look at to get a better example, even though you've probably seen it on social media already. People are saying Edge has something to do with the fact as to why Ricky Starks is currently not being used on television, and it's these motives from Edge as to motivation to further Ricky Starks' reasoning for wanting to leave AEW. So again, link is down in the description box below, but I'll just explain it for people who don't want to click on the link. There was a situation, or let me just say a promo, that unfortunately, in my opinion, spiraled into a situation where Edge and Ricky Starks ended up working themselves into a shoot, right? So Ricky Starks apparently went back and forth with Bryan Danielson, and Edge was in the middle of the ring. And while he was focusing on Bryan Danielson, he made a snide remark at Edge referring to him having buggy eyes or something along the lines of that. And Edge retorted back with calling him a ripoff version of The Rock. He called him a vanilla midget, which at that point, when he said the vanilla midget remark, I knew at that point that, okay, this is a shoot. Because, he's outright undercutting the wrestler rather than actually putting him into a position to be over. He's pulling out an immutable characteristic that is his Achilles heel, and your wrestlers don't do that. You know what I mean? You can make fun of the wrestler for being a cosplay of somebody, all this other stuff, because in reality, there are things that you could do with that in order to change that aspect. Being a vanilla midget, or anything referring to stature or looks or size, or you can't change that, and that's wrestling no 101, right? So at that point, I knew that was a shoot. Now, this is just my own personal opinion. I'm not saying that this is confirmed as to whether or not this happens to be the issue, but I do think that yes and no, that situation has to do with Ricky Starks' influence as to why he wants to leave AEW. This is just my personal opinion, but I do believe that this has something to do with CM Punk. You guys remember that interview with Ariel Helwani about a month ago when CM Punk made reference to the fact that he didn't want to name any names as far as people he was friends with in the company because he didn't want them to be attacked, or he didn't want anything happening to them as far as being buried. I think one of those names is definitely Ricky Starks. And I do believe that maybe in some, and I'm only using this, and I'll give you an example. Remember CM Punk and the whole stuff with Adam Page, and Adam Page shooting on CM Punk in his promo that kind of started off all this, the downfall of CM Punk essentially. And Adam Page's reasoning was because he felt like CM Punk got Colt Cabana demoted to ROH. That's my example as to why I'm using that as a correlation to the situation with Ricky Starks. I think Ricky Starks believes personally, and I don't know how we get from point A to point B to prove this radically, but I do believe Ricky Starks has a grudge against Edge because he feels that Edge replaced CM Punk. Ricky Starks is good friends with a lot of people in WWE, in particular Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, and in this situation, CM Punk. And I'm just throwing it out there. I do believe Ricky Starks finds Edge in some way, kind of like, I don't want to say involved necessarily, but I think he feels that Edge has something to do as to being in cahoots with Tony Khan, with the EVPs, as to lending a hand into CM Punk's dismissal so easily. Maybe he feels like Edge knew that at any point in time he could take CM Punk's position if CM Punk were to act up, and he took advantage of the situation as CM Punk started to leave. Like, he pounced directly on the situation not too long before the situation could be even resolved with CM Punk. And I think Ricky Starks, he holds some condemnation against Edge for, more or less backstabbing CM Punk. That's at least how I look at it. I could be wrong about that. I feel like Ricky Starks harbors ill feelings towards the whole situation involving CM Punk, and he thinks that Edge has something to do with it. And maybe some words got circulated around backstage and it came back to Edge, and Ricky Starks already legitimately feels this way. And then when he went into the ring to cut the promo, that happened. And going forward with the demotion of Ricky Starks having a singles push to now doing tag teams to now not being on television, that has everything to do with maybe Edge. And it's not lost to me that Ricky Starks was a tag team champion, so people are like, does this make any sense? Well, only just from the standpoint that I do feel like Ricky Starks was already having a bit of a push, and maybe the tag team champions maybe he got the, I don't know, this is just my personal opinion, maybe he got the message that he was only a tag team champions just to transition it over to Sting and Darby Allin for Sting's retirement months beforehand, so maybe he never even cared for the belt in itself. It was just a decoration piece in order to help get over the story, which is the story of Sting, and he had nothing as far as put on him. Collision was supposed to be Ricky Starks' show along with CM Punk, and that push versus the push that he inevitably got. I think he has some ill will and some ill feelings towards Edge and the rest of the EVPs and management and Tony Khan, and that's why he wants out in the company, because he feels like he's being used as a pawn in order to go at CM Punk. But that's just my own personal opinion. That's my own theory. Do not use that as a way to confirm anything. That's just my own personal thoughts. But with that being said, let's get into the Smackdown review. Let me know your thoughts as far as the situation is regarding Starks ongoing. Okay, let's go into the Smackdown review. Now, call me conspiratorial. I'm not saying conclusively that I don't believe Bianca Belair was not planned to go over. Maybe that was the case. Maybe she was always planned to go over. But there's something about this that just doesn't sit well with me. Now, I don't mind Bianca Belair winning the match. I just don't want her to win the entire tournament because I don't feel that she needs it. I have nothing against Bianca Belair. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers going strong today, right? Top 5 easily. But she doesn't need it. Bianca Belair is one of the most accomplished women going strong today in any company, in the entire promotion, in the entire women's world, wrestling, whatever. Not even just women. She's one of the more accomplished wrestlers today going strong. One of the more popular wrestlers going strong today. She's one half of the tag team champions. She doesn't need it. So, again, I look at this and I say to myself, was this always the plan? Was Bianca Belair always pegged to win this match? Or did the controversy these past couple of days surrounding Tiffany Stratton ruin those plans? Now, again, this can always be the thing that was supposed to happen going forward. I just feel like I look at a situation like this and I say to myself, why? Why? Why go this route? So Bianca Belair is going to go to the finals for Smackdown, right? Why? Why? It kind of feels like it was supposed to be Jade Cargill going up against Tiffany Stratton, because, you're not going to have Jade go up against Bianca, right? You're not going to spoil that match in a fucking King of the Ring. It's going to most likely be Bianca going up against Nia Jax. And it doesn't feel like that was supposed to be the direction. I just feel like the direction was supposed to be Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. And I can't help but think to myself, because of the controversy, was it one of those situations where it's like, it doesn't kind of look right having, Bianca Belair lose to someone after this whole situation just happened? Imagine what that's going to do optically on social media, especially because I don't know if you guys noticed, they stopped advertising the match after everything that happened with the social media drama surrounding Tiffany Stratton. So I say to myself, just looking at the tournament, because it just seems like, really, Nia Jax and Bianca Belair? Maybe that could be. I'm not saying that doesn't look like that. I'm not saying that it looks like that wouldn't have been the match. It just seems kind of more appropriate considering, we already got the match already. Hold on. Actually, Jade Cargill's talking. Let me see what she's saying. That was very interesting. And again, I do want to see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to spoil such a huge match on the fucking quarterfinals for a King of the Ring. That's stupid. That's a WrestleMania match. You're not going to do that. So that just tells me, like, and considering Bianca and Nia Jax already, you know, win at each other so many times as is, and you're not going to have heel versus heel, just something about this just tells me, like, it was supposed to be Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. And again, I could be wrong about that. I could be absolutely wrong about that. I just feel that the social media drama, it really, I think I mean, almost like Triple H-esque 1996 Madison Square Garden completely derailed everything in regards to Tiffany Stratton, which is a shame if that happens to be the case. Again, let me repeat myself one more time. I'm not saying that's conclusive. That's just my own personal opinion, just looking at the standings within the tournament. Considering Bianca already went back and forth with Nia in the past, and you're not going to do Bianca and Jade, and you're not going to do heel versus heel with Tiffany and Nia. I don't know. I feel like it was supposed to be Tiffany and Jade Cargill, but it is what it is. I understand. I know why they did it. If that happens to be the case, it sucks because I feel like Tiffany Stratton could have really, really used this in order to push forward, you know, her career and progression going forward. But, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully she wins the Money in the Bank. It was a solid match, though. Really, really good match. And here comes Tama Tonga. Let me see what's going on with that. Hang on. All right, solid promo with LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. I actually fuck with that promo. That was good. LA Knight was on point with that one right there. I will say, too, before all that, you know, after the match with Bianca and Tiffany, they did have a bit of a stare down with LA Knight and Logan Paul before Nick Aldis came out and Logan Paul went into his office. So that's very interesting also. I mean, that was apparently everybody kept talking as if that was going to be the WrestleMania match. I thought that was going to be the WrestleMania match also. But if they do that for SummerSlam, I'm cool with that also. But we'll get there when we get there. In the meantime, Tama Tonga's about to go one-on-one with LA Knight, so let's see where this goes, all right? Man, again, I know I say this a lot, but I gotta reiterate this. Every time I see stupid fucking booking like this, I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, has wrestling truly passed people of my age group behind? It's just nonsensical. I don't get it. The World Championship, is it or is it not the most important title in all of professional wrestling? No matter what company you work for, I would think that the world champion is the pinnacle. The world champion is the most sought after prize. The world champion is what gets you the most money. The world championship is what gets you the main event. So why is it always treated like a mid-card prop? Why is it always treated in this manner to look like it's nothing more than a secondary champion show, and that anything that's above it as far as a feud or a storyline goes, it takes precedent over it? If you don't feel that guy is a good enough draw, then just don't put him in that position to fight for the world championship. It's really not that fucking hard, and they make it so difficult. So coming up next, we have Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul, but that's going to be at the top of the hour. That's going to be at 9 o'clock when that happens, bro. 9 o'clock. I just don't get it. I don't get it. They do it in AEW. They did it this week in NXT. Damian Priest feels like a mid-card champion. Now you're doing it to Cody Rhodes. If you're not confident in these people carrying these championship belts that you feel they can draw in the last section of the hour, then just don't put the belts on them. But here's my thing. It doesn't even have to be that way. If you show them throughout the night and you catch their attention creatively, they're going to want to check out the last portion of whatever you push throughout the show as far as a storyline is considered. It's so unbelievable when I see shit like this. Austin was shown throughout the show. Rock was shown throughout the show. Taker was shown throughout the show. Triple H shown throughout the show. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. If you know what you're doing creatively, which is plugging the main portion of the storyline and working things in between. This is what happens when you focus so much on fucking wrestling that you neglect the story portion that's supposed to be drawing us to everybody on the actual show in itself. Well, not everybody, but the main focal point of the show in itself. And that person being drawn as far as the focal point, their whole arc is supposed to bleed into what everybody else is doing. Instead, now, man, it's like, oh, this guy can get over on his own. Oh, this guy can get over on their own. They're doing it strictly with just wrestling, bruh. It makes no sense to me whatsoever, and it's fucking dumb. And now, we'll talk about that a little bit more after Cody and Logan's fucking promo coming up. We did have this match with Tama Tonga going up against LA Knight. Be quite frank, it was boring as shit. It was really, really boring. But Tama Tonga ended up pulling out the win after LA Knight was distracted by the bloodline, got back into the ring, got hit with, I guess, the complete shot. I don't know what he's calling it. I know it as the complete shot. I mean, people call it the little Jimmy also. It depends how you want to refer to it. But he ended up hitting it on on LA Knight, and he got the win. But I can't get over this, bro. I seriously can't get over this, man. If you don't feel confident to put the belt on Cody Rhodes where you feel he can draw, then take the belt off of him. If you really want to do this stupid-ass type of booking, then take the belt off of him. That goes for a Swerve Strickland. That goes for a Damian Priest. That goes for a Trick Williams. Let me see what LA Knight is saying. He's on my television right now. Good little continuation with Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight. I like that. We'll see how that's going to play out later on tonight. But, man, I can't get over this stupid-ass type of booking. It infuriates me. It really does infuriate me because it just makes the World Championship look like it's a fucking nothing. So what's the point of getting yourself hooked onto anyone's main angle when you know when eventually they take on a main event type of angle as far as a World Championship is considered? What's the fucking point? Oh, because it's going to main event the pay-per-view. That's so fucking dumb, man. It's so fucking dumb. The title doesn't make the man makes the title, man. Did Roman not show that already? Like I said, this has everything to do with the person holding the championship belt, and you're not confident in them, then don't put the belt on them to begin with. This is fucking dumb. Hopefully they deliver in this program, and hopefully somehow, some way, they come back tonight and... Who am I fucking kidding? Let's just continue watching this. This is so dumb. Alright, because I know they're going to go directly to commercial after this, so I got some time to talk while Nia Jax is making her entrance. She's about to have a match with Jade Cargill, obviously. We'll talk about that afterwards. Let's talk about this whole little segment right here, because this was good. This was fine. I like the dialogue between both of them. I like what Logan Paul is doing in order to get heat on himself. I like the position that Nick Aldis played. I like the promo that Cody Rhodes cut. Very babyface promo without going out of his way to have to take any shots as far as shooting from the hip, brother. Nah, they both play their roles to a T. Their characters were perfectly placed as far as what they were saying verbiage-wise. I liked everything about it. You had Logan Paul come out, right, with his entourage, broccoli hair people who probably wanted to save the kids from crypto tokens. I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. Again, they look like fucking people from FaZe Clan or some shit. They're sitting behind Logan. He has a lawyer right there, and Cody Rhodes comes out. He sits down. Nick Aldis is mediating all this. They both put their championship belts respectively onto a podium. They're both sitting opposite from each other, and they cut a promo, right? So Logan Paul goes on about Cody Rhodes. Oh, actually, you know what? I think Cody actually kicked it off. He was talking about what is today's date? What is the anniversary of today? Which happens to be the anniversary since War Games. Which, by the way, that's no exaggeration whatsoever. You guys I put that on the poll plenty of times. Whenever you guys want me to review Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance and War Games, I've seen the match probably like 80 million times already in like the past 25 years. Again, it's not one of the best War Games matches of all time. It's one of the best matches of all time. I'd argue and say that's probably the best, maybe top 10 best matches, maybe even top 5 best matches in WCW history. And I think I put it on my top 100 greatest matches of all time list, did I? Or was it just for WWE? Oh no, that was the WWE list. If I were to do 100 greatest matches of all time list, keep that in mind now, that would definitely be in the top 100. Fucking awesome match. I didn't even know until it was the anniversary. Nevertheless, though, he was essentially using as a catalyst to talk about Logan Paul not being a fan of professional wrestling because he didn't know what today's date represented. And Logan Paul retorted back with the fact that he doesn't care about any of this, obviously. He just wants to get straight to the contract signing. That's all he came for. Let's sign the contract. Let's do this. Cody Rhodes, he wants to sign the contract too. Okay, fine. He signs the contract. He hands it over to Logan Paul. Logan Paul is like, we're not going to do that. And he rips up the contract, right, into pieces. He pulls out a new contract, and he says this contract states that your title is on the line, not my title. I already signed it. Here you go. You can sign that contract because you aren't worthy enough to face me for my United States Championship. You haven't done anything to go after my United States Championship, so fuck you. And that's good heel heat. I like how he actually carried himself in that. That was nice. That was really good. Nick Aldis is irritated by this because he's like, hey, we all talked about this in the office in the back. What are you doing right now? You know, you're making a fool out of me. Like, you better sign the contract, yada, 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 or I'm going to do something. That's the kind of verbiage he's at least alluding to before his lawyer interjected, and he's like, are you threatening my client? Good shit. Again, everybody hates lawyers, right? Cody Rhodes essentially told Nick Aldis, hey, I know how you get when you get angry. Just go ahead and go in the back. I'll bring you the paperwork. Let me talk to Logan, right? And Logan Paul, beforehand, he throws the contract at Cody Rhodes, and Cody is pissed off. He picks up the contract, he walks up to Logan Paul, and he insults him, and he says, "Hey, just because you can do a flip doesn't mean you're anybody. I'm gonna prove to you why you're essentially just a one-hit wonder." That's what he's alluded to, essentially, right? He signs the contract, and when he turns around, Logan Paul tries to attack him. He clotheslined him out the ring, and then one of his broccoli guys tried to attack Cody from behind. Cody ended up powerbombing him through the table inside the ring, because you always got to get a powerbomb through a table spot for a contract signing, right? If you don't do that, then you're doing something wrong, right? But that was the entire segment. And like I said, good way to get heat. That's a nice little, tidbit you can have in the promo packages when building up to the match. And I'm assuming next week Logan Paul is going to knock out Cody Rhodes. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen, right? All this was fine. All this was good. I wish we would have gotten a legitimate angle out of all this. Not just a contract signing. I feel like every time we see Cody Rhodes as a world champion, now granted, it's only been 2 title defenses once we get to Saudi, but I feel like we're not getting the most out of Cody Rhodes. You need to give him legitimate, stories, actual angles. I mean, Randy Orton, Triple H breaking into a house kind of angles, things to actually give us to want to support Cody Rhodes, because doing this right here, this is boring. This is really, really boring. And like I said, the bad part about Cody Rhodes, and I see people say this, and I say this myself, do I necessarily find Cody Rhodes boring? No, not really. It's because he does the same shtick, whatever, over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the thing is, he's good. But when you have to rely on that over and over and over and over again, eventually, we've heard it all. It's the same type of tone. It's the same type of rhetoric. It gets boring after a while, right? I love pizza. I love spaghetti. I love ice cream. I love candy. I love chicken. I love all that shit. But if you give it to me one time, one food item, chicken, pizza, whatever, all those things I like, give me each of those items and tell me to eat it for a full fucking year and nothing else. Eventually, I'm gonna get sick and fucking tired of it. No matter if it's my favorite, I'm gonna get sick and tired of it. I will like something else in order to fill my palate, right? That's how I feel about Cody Rhodes. I feel like if you give him something to sink his teeth into in regards to an angle, it would be better for him. Give him something to run with. Give us some backstage altercations. Give us something in regards to a legitimate storyline. I don't know. Maybe Logan Paul is hitting on Brandy Rhodes, right? Maybe Logan Paul fucking did something to his dog, right? Or maybe Logan Paul, he's doing something as far as his daughter is considered, right? Something along the lines of that. As a matter of fact, it's ironic. Something like Christian and Swerve Strickland. It just sucks because they put that in the middle of the card, but that's the kind of shit that I want to see Cody Rhodes involved in. Not everything has to be cookie cutter, goody two shoes, sign a contract, guy hits you in the face, fucking universe mode promo nonsense. Not all that has to fucking be like that. That gets really, really, really boring. When you do it that many times, it gets super duper boring. But hey, like I said, Cody Rhodes cut a good promo. This was a good segment. I just kind of want to see more than what the fuck we're seeing currently at the moment. Is that much to it? Is that too much to? I don't think that's too much to ask. I know you're going to get some people in the comment section, and for some reason, they're going to take everything that I said out of context and twist my words and be like, Devontae, you don't understand professional wrestling nowadays. Yeah, I don't understand professional wrestling nowadays. That's why people within my generation came at the tens of millions when professional wrestling was at its fucking height. But people who use your goddamn mentality right now, they can barely get 2 million fucking views, and in other companies they can't even get 500,000 views damn near. So shut the fuck up, because you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. For the Cody crybabies out there, for the people who feel like they're entitled to their opinion because what they say happens to be the mainstream opinion today. What, amongst your family members? Because that's how many people are watching professional wrestling right now, thanks to your fucking mentality. No, you like to take your stupid ass opinion and you think to yourself whether or not it's good or bad, or it doesn't matter. As long as it's attached to a professional wrestler or an entity that you like, that's all that matters at the end of the day. You don't give a fuck about the actual substance of what the fuck we're trying to talk about. What you care about is whether or not your favorite that you follow on Twitter that happened to retweet your dumbass comment, the person who you follow and you stand for in your stupid ass profile pic, whether or not the opinion about what the fuck the activity should be coinciding with that talent, it doesn't matter. As long as the opinion does not speak negatively upon them, everything goes outside the window, right? So shut the fuck up. You're not adding anything to the conversation. You're a fucking dipshit and you're killing professional wrestling with your mentality. That's for all the knuckleheads out there who are going to be like, you're burying Cody Rhodes. Oh, you think I'm burying Cody Rhodes? Wait till tomorrow. I got more to talk about in regards to the world title situation. We'll get there when we get there. With that being said, Nia Jax and Jade Cargill are going at it, so let's stick to SmackDown tonight, but wait till tomorrow. I got a topic for y'all motherfuckers. So they have a match right now going on with DIY versus some jobbers. I don't know who the fuck they are. I can't see them in the ring. Who is that? Oh, is that Humberto and Angel Garza? I think so. Yeah, Legado del Fantasma. I don't care. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good match, but I don't care. It has no substance to it whatsoever. I don't give a shit about DIY. When they give me a reason to want to be concerned with their match, then I'll give a shit. Otherwise, let's talk about this real quick, because I actually like this because there was a story behind this. I like how they went about it. We'll get more into it. Hang on for a second. So you had Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, right? This match in itself was just a big brawl to begin with, and it didn't go that long. It ended up in a disqualification, right? So before the disqualification even happened, they were actually fighting outside the ring. Jade Cargill's daughter is outside the ring. She's sitting in the audience area, somewhere in the pit, right behind the barricade. And Nia Jax, she went to her face and she started to berate the little girl right in front of Jade Cargill. And Jade Cargill, obviously being a mom, that's her daughter, she kicked her in the face, and her and Nia Jax started to brawl a little bit longer. Nia Jax eventually, got the advantage over Jade Cargill. She ended up getting a chair, and she tried to hit Jade Cargill with her, which I think she still caught her with it a little tiny bit. A little bit too much force of that chair swing, Nia. Regardless, though, Jade Cargill blocked the chair, kinda, and she took it out of Nia Jax's hand, and she hit Nia with the chair instead, which the referee is looking at her, and DQ. And I ain't talking about Dairy Queen, we talking about disqualification, you feel me? But nah, after the match though, because Jade Cargill got disqualified, she got the chair, she tried to go after Nia Jax some more, she dropped the chair, she swiped the announcement table off of all the stuff, and she's outraged, she's angry because she got disqualified, she's no longer within the King of the Ring. Nice way to get her out of the match, nice way to get her to not be pinned. I know what they're trying to do. Beautiful way of how they did it, right? Her and Nia started to brawl a little bit more. They're bringing out security guards, they're bringing out referees, they're bringing out people to break up the fight. Again, how they did this, I absolutely appreciate. It gives Nia Jax essentially a forfeit to go forward in the King of the Ring. And again, I'm just going to say this one more time. Was that ever the plan? I still think somehow, some way that was supposed to be Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I digress though. It's going to be Bianca and Nia Jax, right? But here's my thing. Why go the whole route of the steel chair, right? It felt kind of awkward to me a little tiny bit. So she, got in your daughter's face, she berated your daughter. Maybe you should have got disqualified off of that. That should have led to the disqualification. You have someone going in your daughter's face and pointing the finger at her and calling her nothing and yada, yada, yada. That would have pissed me off to the degree where I would have got a disqualification based off of that alone. She super kicked her. I would have immediately got a chair. I would have fucking I would have got on top of her at the very least. I would have punched her in the face. I would have beat the ever-loving shit out of her, right? I would have done whatever. I would have got a chair. I would have got a ring bell. I would have done whatever I would have did because I'm fucking infuriated because who are you to get in my daughter's face? That right there should have been the disqualification. Instead, they fought a little bit more, let Nia Jax get the advantage after she berated her daughter, and then it ended up being a disqualification. You know what I mean? It's not a bad spot, but it is the little things that do matter, at least to me. I would have immediately got disqualified. I would have immediately done something crazy on Nia Jax directly after her berating my daughter. That way it would have made a little bit more sense, right? Rather having Nia Jax get a chair, try to hit Jade Cargill with it. Jade Cargill gets the chair in her hand and she hits her with the chair. Nah, go directly into the disqualification finish right after that spot with the daughter. But other than that though, that's just a little bit of a tidbit. At least it bothers me a little tiny bit. I know it doesn't bother any of you guys because you accept mediocrity. That's fine. That's okay. Regardless though, perfect results. That's exactly how I figure it would. I actually said to myself, how were they going to do this? And one of the two things that I did think to myself, I did say to myself, this was going to be a non-finish. Like whether it was going to be a count out or disqualification, I did say to myself, this is going to be a non-finish. So I can't say that I'm surprised that they went in this direction, but they did go in this direction. And again, it was the best decision. It was the best way to go about this because you didn't want Jade Cargill getting pinned, but you damn sure didn't want her going into the finish, which we all knew she wasn't going to go into the finish with Bianca Belair because, again, you're not going to do that match for something as useless as the King of the Ring tournament, at least at the moment. That's a WrestleMania match. You're not going to put that on television. So I completely agree with the sentiments in regards to all this. Hopefully they can, maybe Bianca Belair can talk to Jade Cargill backstage. We can revisit this, because apparently we don't do enough of that in professional wrestling. But I digress. We got 30 more minutes to go. For some reason, they're giving DIY and Legado del Fantasma a fucking commercial break when you didn't even give them a fucking entrance. Professional wrestling is so stupid nowadays. Let's continue on with the show. But yeah, I'm not reviewing the DIY Legado del Fantasma. I'm not reviewing that match because I don't give a fuck. Oh, so they're going to have Smackdown in Saudi Arabia next week? Okay, that's pretty unique. I wonder, what time is, let me look this up real quick. What time is, the King of the Ring tournament going to be next week? I just realized that. Hang on for a second, guys. I'm going to look this up in real time. WWE King of the Ring start time. Do they have a start time? Oh, I see it. It's going to be, 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock next Saturday. Okay. I mean, I can't say that I wasn't really expecting that. I think that's always been at 1 o'clock. I actually wouldn't have minded if it was at 5 o'clock in the morning like it was for Australia. But I guess they're just doing it based off of the time zones. I mean, it was at 1 o'clock the last time. I'm just trying to figure out what time it's going to come on so I know how I'm going to do my schedule next week for my job. Nevertheless, though, Randy Orton had a match. As we expected, Carmelo Hayes ended up jobbing to Randy Orton, because what else were you fucking expecting as Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton, for fuck's sakes? I will say I dig the finish. I mean, he tried to go for a springboard crossbody, got caught in midair with an RKO. And, Carmelo Hayes gave him some, unique counters that Randy Orton isn't really necessarily used to. I like the backbreaker counter on the announcement table, stuff like that, for an example. But this result wasn't going to go anywhere different than what you expected it to go, right? And look, I would definitely say this, at the very, very least, unlike fucking AEW, and quite frankly, unlike NXT this week also, I still wholeheartedly disagree with the World Championship being in the middle of the card. I don't give a fuck if the whole tournament is surrounded around the fucking, or around the whole pay-per-view, is surrounded by the entire tournament. That doesn't matter in the end of the day. That wasn't the case at King of the Ring about 20 years ago, and it shouldn't be the case today. It's a fucking stupid decision. The World Championship should always, forever, and ever main event. As a matter of fact, if you really wanted to, this is just a little bit of an opinion from a guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, apparently, I would have just done this whole scenario just like he did it. Randy Orton beating Carmelo Hayes, Tama Tonga, and the rest of the bloodline coming out. They try to intimidate him. Randy Orton cuts the promo. Boom, Bob's your uncle. You can do all that. That's fine. Scrub about 2 or 3 minutes off of that Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton match and still do the exact same promo that you did just now, right? And just like 2 weeks ago when you had the bloodline brawling backstage to build up to the match in France, you could have absolutely did the same thing with Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. Maybe Cody Rhodes could have been found backstage laid out. What the fuck is going on? What just happened? That would have been a nice way to fucking segue into Smackdown next week, right? Instead, we don't have a cliffhanger. In my opinion, we don't have a cliffhanger. Because in the end of the day, first, we all expected this to be the fucking, the conclusion, right? We all knew, looking at the brackets, it was always going to come down to Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. So put that to the side for an example, or put that to the side for a second. But even then, even if we knew this was going to be the circumstance, right? You still, in the end of the day, do not have the King of the Ring circumvent the world title. They are fighting. I don't even know. I mean, fuck, I was gonna say they're fighting for a chance to go after the world championship, but I still, maybe I'm the only person in the world because I have a fucking life and I don't look this shit up. I still don't understand what is the reward for winning the King of the Ring. Do they get a main event title shot, or is they just saying this fucking, this is gonna be for a future title shot? I mean, no, I need some fucking conclusions here, right? How about you use the King of the Ring like you did for Brock Lesnar, and you use that as a way to get to SummerSlam? I know, fucking crazy idea, right? To use the King of the Ring similar to how you use the Royal Rumble going into WrestleMania. Why not start building up the SummerSlam? That way, when Randy Orton takes on Gunther, we can get, because that's the conclusion. We all know that's what it's going to be in the end of the day, right? It's going to be Randy Orton and it's going to be Gunther, right? It's not going to be Jay fucking Uso. Let's just get over ourselves. What? No, I can't say that. I guess theoretically it could be Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga, couldn't it? But no, they're not going to have Jey Uso beat Gunther, right? No, I think it's going to be Gunther and I hope it's Gunther and Randy Orton. For one, I think that'd be a fucking really, really good match. I really, really, really want to see that match. Gunther and Randy Orton, I think, will have a killer fucking match. And I'm curious as to how Randy Orton's style will kind of mesh with Gunther's style. You know what I mean? I'm very curious as to how that will work out, because Gunther doesn't know how to have a bad match. But look, in the end of the day, the result happened the way we knew the result was going to happen, right? I understand in the end of the day, the King of the Ring, that's the name of the show. I get it. Still, in the end of the day, everything should always circle around the World Heavyweight Championship. And we got only one segment. One. Count them on your fingers now. Wait for it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sticking my middle finger at the microphone. That goes for every motherfucker out there who doesn't understand the concept of a main event involving the World Championship. Because think about this. Think about this. Imagine your favorite, for an example, I'll just hypothetically say the Royal Rumble. Imagine them winning the Royal Rumble, right? They're going to get a shot immediately at Cody Rhodes for the World Championship. That's what they want to go after. They want to get their hands on the WWE Undisputed Championship. But they want to have the same belt that Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns for, who held the belt for 4 years. Why should I give a fuck when you de-evaluate the fucking title? Why should I give a gosh darn fucking literally fuck about anything that you devaluate? Huh? Why should I care? It's like a wrestler, for an example, going out there and they claim to be a legend. They get their asses whooped 1,000,001 times. Fucking every goddamn time you see. Jericho is a perfect example of that. Chris Jericho, a living legend, right? But who gives a shit as far as what your value brings to a person that you end up jobbing to? Because you job to fucking everybody. So who the fuck cares whether or not someone beats you? It's just another fucking day in the office, honestly, because all you do is fucking lose. That's the World Championship. When you put the World Championship in the position as to how you position it tonight, all you do is telling me that championship belt is for fucking losers. That belt is on a fucking loser. Because if he was a winner, then the title that he happens to hold on to, that's supposed to be bringing in everything as far as the main attraction is considered, whereas the money, whether it's the fans, it's the thing that people value the most. It's the ultimate goal, is to hold that belt that's on Cody Rhodes' shoulder. Then that shit right there should definitely be the face of every goddamn programming. It should be the face of every goddamn segment, and a goddamn tiddlywink should damn sure be the goddamn main event of every fucking program you happen to do, of which that title coincides with, for whatever brand. The same thing can be said about a Damian Priest, and the same thing can be said about a Swerve Strickland, and goddammit, taking the Trick Williams also, because the same thing can be said about him. But like I said, let me shut my mouth for a second. Let's put a little zipper on that and zip it up right quick, because I got more to say about this tomorrow. Stay tuned. I got a brand new video out for you guys. I got a lot more to say about this topic. Again, stay tuned. Let's put a little bit of a fucking lock on there. Let's twist it a little bit. Turn the key, stick it up there. Turn it. Okay, it's locked. Give me that key. Throw it in the river. We'll come back to this shit tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as to how you felt about Smackdown. Devontae, you take the smallest things and you ruin my dreams. My life is ruined because you over-evaluated Smackdown and you gave it too much of the criticisms. Can you just agree with my opinion, Devontae? Can you just tell me the things that I like to hear? Because without you telling me that the things that I like to hear, I fucking melt like the fucking... Okay, I'll tell you something that you like to hear. You ready for this? You ready for this? Your pussy feels amazing when I pound it into fucking smithereens. See, I gave you a compliment. Your pussy's super goddamn tight. I mean, can you think of a better compliment? I mean, you bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, it's better than yours. Oh, damn right, it's better than yours, and I ain't teaching you. And damn sure I ain't gonna charge you either. Ew, gay. But with that being said, I'm gonna catch you guys later. Tomorrow, be there or be square. We got more to say about this whole world title situation in regards to all the fucking companies. See you then. Deuces, P. Ice.